Well,
Hey, just us today, maybe?
I mean, it's just started, so we'll see. Have you completed all the quests?
I'm doing the last one now.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, the last one's pretty fun.
Did you like try to make the visualization yourself? Or did you just complete all the edges for each one and then put it in? Because I'm like, how's he creating it?
Um, I think I think for me, I just put every edge in, but I used the helper function that I made. The what's it called?
The add edge or
Yeah, the add edge.
what's the two string for? I saw it's also helper.
Actually, not sure. Like I used it for um there's one of the quests that's like really repetitive that has to put like pretty much the exact same thing on each edge, and I just made my two string and to do that function. But yeah.
Oh, my two string was just so I could display basically what all the edges were um after the fact. So it was really just for my own tests.
Hmm.
See.
I think I
Because some
oh,
of them
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
um I didn't want to type out like add edge every single edge, so I was trying to put it in like a loop to do it for me.
Yeah, I did a
But then
loop for one of them. I did a loop for one of only one of them. The other ones, like I kind of just did an add edge for every single one.
It's about dodos in space, seems like.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I did the loop for that. Um, I also managed to figure out how to do a loop for the stick man and make it so I could plug in variables for like basically how many appendages I wanted to give, um, and then how many total like nodes or something.
Hmm.
I forget exactly how I did it, but I did that so I could basically reuse the make stick man to make like a centipede looking thing later.
Interesting.
I was debating posting that for like the pretty picture. I mean, it's not that pretty. It just looks like a centipede.
Yeah, for some reason my pretty picture, like when I put it into like the testing code, like it just wouldn't show up. Even though I got like the points for the other stuff, so I'm guessing my I thought my code would work, but it just wasn't showing up, so it doesn't really matter though, I guess. It's for like optional points. But I did make one, but it's just I couldn't really see what it looked like.
Mm.
I think I had to scroll like way down to see mine.
I
Yeah, it
can
was way at the bottom.
try doing it again. Let's see. Yeah, it's weird. It's not showing up, but I can maybe screen share, but I guess it might show the password. I'll just go scroll to the bottom.
Yeah, maybe you just scroll to the bottom. It might be okay.
Mm.
Let's see. Hmm. Like I can see like the first one, like this is someone else's. Oh,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
And then like, here's mine, like it has all the nodes and stuff. Like I tried to make a clock,
Uh-huh.
but it just,
Oh, it doesn't.
uh,
Okay.
it's just not really
Yeah.
showing up.
For
I
me,
don't
it just
know.
showed right below that text.
Yeah. Like for, yeah, cause my code is just, it's just a for loop and it just has like an edge for every single node of the clock, but I don't know. It's fine. I will stop. I should probably get started on the first red quest, but I don't know. I've just been reviewing for the final.
First one's not too bad.
Okay.
It's kind of like a question you'd see on Leak Code.
Okay.
Is the final in 2 weeks? 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's in 2 weeks.
Here.
Wait, what quest is due at the end of this week?
The image just kind of pops out here.
I think,
There isn't
yeah,
any.
I realized after the fact, I think the last week's quest tardigrades is actually due this week. He
Okay.
gave us like
On-
2 weeks to complete that one.
Oh, on the syllabus, I thought they gave us 2 weeks to complete B, and only one.
Really?
It was
Let me look.
tardigrade. Tardigrade is 2
I
weeks.
can check again. But
At least when I read the module,
Tardigrade had 2 weeks for it.
yeah.
oh, okay.
It makes sense because B is pretty short and tardigrade is
Yeah.
one of the harder quests.
Okay. Interesting. Because on the syllabus, I'm looking at it now. It did. Okay. Interesting. It said tardigrade was 1 week and B was 2. But I think that's wrong, yeah.
Wonder how much like other people in the class that don't come to these meetings, how they're doing. I'm guessing they're probably doing fine. Like I know like there's a good amount that like finished like all the quests pretty early on too. That
Yeah.
don't come to these meetings.
Mhm.
What are you guys using to study for the final? Do you guys have like a specific thing you're reading or
CS
Like-
club module.
yeah, same.
I think that's like kind of the only thing you can kind of use now. Like I was using the textbook for a bit too, but some of the topics have kind of like steered away from the textbook a little bit. So there's not as much information on there. So like it's just kind of whatever you can find online at this point, I think.
I mean, I'll also look at the learncpp.com. Because they have some pretty good stuff. And then also at the bottom for most of their pages, they'll have like practice questions and solutions. So I find those to be helpful.
You guys know if it's cumulative again for this final?
I think it is.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do on this final, honestly.
I was trying to remember how the 2A final went, and honestly, I can't even remember anything from that final.
I didn't think it was too bad. It was like pretty similar to the midterm, but the topics were like there were some repeat topics
Yeah, I
or
was gonna say,
questions.
yeah, for like the binary search questions. I got
Yeah.
similar. I feel like it'll probably be similar. Hopefully.
Mm.
So how many of you have started on the red quests already?
Yeah,
So I don't even know
I
how people are in this call right now.
There's 5, including you,
Okay.
and I did not start.
I think I got through the third one yesterday, but I don't know if it's kind of vague, so I'm like, I don't know if I have everything or not.
Mm.
The second and third quest like go together, so
Because is there any like more prep you're having to do for the red quest versus the green ones, or is it kind of just the same?
um first one wasn't too bad because it's like it's a subset problem, and that one I like vaguely remembered from leak code. And then the second and third one are on the matrices, and that one I had to like look up matrix multiplication because I hadn't touched it at all and what a sparse matrix was. I actually didn't find a lot of good information on the sparse matrix, but because if you Google sparse matrices like multiplication, like half of them are leak like people trying to solve a leak code problem, leak code 311.
Oh.
Same thing if you look up YouTube videos.
Mm.
So that took me a while to like wrap my head around.
I know Gabriel tried to explain it in one of the previous meetings, and it like sort of made sense, but I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, I mean the good thing about the first couple quests is like as long as you read the instructions carefully, like it tells you what to do.
Mm,
Um, the third quest gets a little more vague, but I think just from the naming of the functions, you kind of get an idea of what you're supposed to do anyway.
also they gave some starter code. I've done the first one and I'm on the second one right now. Both of them give some starter code, which is helpful.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Because I heard that red quest you didn't really get starter code, but
I downloaded the specs thing for the fourth quest, and that one still gives starter code for now. So we'll see how long it lasts. The instructions do get more vague though. That's the main thing.
Okay.
Vague as in
have you?
like it's not like this is the function definition that you need to implement.
Mm,
Mm. So you can't, is it hard to match up like when you submit the quest? Because usually it tells us like by mini quests, are we hitting these points? Is it not sectioned like that anymore? Or
Yeah, the responses you get, like I mean, it still has like the parentheses where it says like, oh, like constructor or whatever
Mm.
passed. But sometimes the information that like the like if something goes wrong, I'm looking at like the test response and I'm like, I have no idea what that means.
Mm,
because it like some of the feedback it gives you isn't super in depth or anything.
see.
So like for one, I was like thinking like I was implementing a certain function, and I thought I was getting something wrong there, but I wasn't even hitting that function. It was something wrong with like another function because I wasn't sure what was going on.
Okay.
Anything interesting outside of class? Or just same old normal stuff?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'm surprised our teacher hasn't come in for this week yet.
Yeah. You haven't seen him since first
Hopefully.
week? I think the first
Oh,
week.
I was talking about Gabriel, but
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Time change must have messed him up.
yeah. Do they do that in Taiwan too?
I have no
Oh,
clue.
no,
Actually,
maybe they don't. So maybe he
did he log in
didn't even
earlier?
realize. Maybe.
Yeah, there's actually a good chance that he doesn't, because they don't have daylight savings there.
Yeah, it says
Maybe
daylight
we should
saving
post
time
something
is
on
no longer
Reddit
in use.
to let him know.
That's funny.
I think he'll
Oh,
probably have enough participation for the week anyway. He's pretty active on
Yeah.
the
that would mean he would show up in an hour, right? Think.
yeah, because
Yeah.
we lost an hour.
Mm.
I guess maybe some good news. So obviously part of the class is learning how to reuse functions and everything. Uh, so at my job, right, I'm in the data analytics department, and I think I said before that like half our department quit. So I'm like actually doing some of the data analyst work now. Uh, and I was trying to build a Power BI uh, that was using like the same formula to I had to calculate a daily average for a whole bunch of different variables like cash and tender and sales, whatever. Uh, but I was able to figure out a way to take that daily average calculation and turn it into a function of sorts, and then I could just pass basically each column of like the data type that I wanted into that function. So I was like, hey, look, I'm applying what we're sort of doing in class.
Nice. What are you loading into Power BI? Is it just Excel or?
Um, so usually we connect straight to SQL Server,
Mm.
our database. So we'll write the SQL first and then load it. Um, this one was actually loaded just from a CSV file because it was a one-time analysis that they wanted. But I don't know if any of you have ever worked in Power BI, but it's actually very hard to make like reusable functions. You can't actually define your own functions to reuse. So I wanted, like a daily average sales and a daily average cash and a daily average change disbursement, like how many points they we give back at the cash register. So each of those has to be its own separate function, basically. So the only way you can reuse functions, it's like the super roundabout method. It's kind of weird, which is why I had to look it up. Why no one in my department had really used it before, because it doesn't lend itself to object-oriented stuff. But I guess other good news is they found 2 people to hire, so we'll have more manpower in like 2 weeks,
Nice.
which means I could stop for time.
Did everyone already dog all the other quests as well?
Yeah. Probably should go back and look at like the older quests just like to review. Especially like the third one. Pretty sure I do not remember how that one works.
Is that the automaton?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I do think that was the hardest quest out of everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, even going back, because I just went back to finish the make next gen. I was like, what am I doing here? What's going on in this quest?
Yeah, I saw I had the same year too where I didn't reset the extreme bit. So I was like, why is only the first row giving me an error? But
I just remember just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what stuck. And then somehow it worked. I'll have to go
That
through it
one,
all.
yeah, that one took me a while. I ended up submitting that one a bit late because of just how long it took and how many errors I ran into.
Yeah. I think the only reason I was able actually to find that is because when he prints out with the error message, it says like it shows his and then yours. And I was like, what the heck is different? Why is it, not matching? And then I saw that our extreme bits were different. And I was like, oh, it's that. Because yeah, when I was testing it on my own, I was like, I'm getting a match, so I don't understand why his printout is looking different from my printout when I'm testing it.
Maybe I could recode, like have like a separate file and then just try to do the entire quest again. Because I really don't know what's going on now that I'm looking at it. It's probably the best way because we have literally 2 weeks of just review before the final.
Yeah.
Also, is this last like pretty picture one? It's pretty picture. It's just is it extra credit? I think I saw someone asking in the
Yeah,
Reddit.
I think if it
I
looks
believe it's
really
just for
good.
extra credit. You just post the images that you get. You can move on without doing it, and you get full points without doing it.
I wonder how he determines um if it's like valid or not.
Yeah,
I think it's mostly just a freebie anyway. And then if you make something really cool, maybe you get added to one of the examples that they show. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like if you asked me to make that soccer ball one, there's no way I'd be able to do it. I'd be like, I would lose track of where I was.
Hmm. For the dodos in space one, when it says 25, is he just saying 50 nodes? Seems like.
50 total nodes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, which quest are we supposed to be on right now?
I think at the end of this week, the tardigrades, or maybe one of them, like B or tardigrades, is due.
Yeah,
I think it's tardigrades.
yeah.
Also, we have to finish everything by the end of this week. Or is it
No,
one?
No, no, no,
tardigrades
no.
is the
Tardigrades is the second to last one. B is the last
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
he is due next week.
Yeah, for the make dodos in space, I would definitely do a for loop for that. It makes it much easier,
Yeah.
much less lines.
Yeah, I have a for loop for the dodos in space, the Cathy the Great, and the Slinky Star.
I gave up on the for loops and just added them one by one.
And then like I said, I also made the one for the stick man, but that's because I was also kind of doing that for my centipede, basically for the pretty picture.
You just look for patterns for the other ones, I guess.
It probably would have been faster for me to not do the for loop, but I was kind of stubborn. I was like, no, I'll make this work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The star one, that for loop is actually fairly simple. The Cathy the Great, that one definitely took a lot more troubleshooting. Because I ended up so I had just one. I had a variable that I just called inner node count for like how many were in that internal, so that pentagon. Because I'm doing a whole bunch of my like add edge based off whatever that inner node count is.
I see.
So did you have like multiple for loops, or is it just one big for loop?
No, it's just one for loop.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just didn't really feel like I saw like a clear pattern that would like make it better to just use a for loop compared to just doing it manually really quick.
Yeah,
Since all the shapes are so particular.
it definitely took me longer to come up with the loop than not.
I can kind of see it, but then I feel like once you get to the fourth note for the Cathy the Great one, I'm looking at the figure right now. Like once you get to the 4, and you have to connect it to 0. Like it might get a little.
I just use modulo for that.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like my loop, I have one add edge to do like that internal like one, which I'm doing based off the modulo for how many internal nodes there are. In this case, 5. And then from each of those, because then it always counts, 5, 6 or 7, 8, whatever. Then you can just use that incremental and just go, it's like, okay, go one more, and then the next two, and then the next two.
If this meeting lasts an hour, maybe we can see if Gabriel comes or not.
Someone said they used toString for the Dodo one, right? Did you just store it in a vector? Or an array, I mean, for each.
What do you mean? Did I store the?
The Yippee Dodo 38. 'Cause
Oh
you have
yeah,
a,
I
You need a
just
vector.
yeah, I don't know if I used a vector. I just kind of modified my toString to include a int like argument, and then
Mhm.
put that as like one of the implemented that in the make dodos in space for loop.
I
If
see.
that makes sense. But honestly, you don't even need it. Like you could literally like just do yippee dodo and then have the number afterwards. And
Mhm.
you'd have to like you'd have to, I guess, convert the integer to a string, but that doesn't really
Yeah,
take that
but
much.
you
Yeah,
already
I
call it
just
toString.
yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a blood moon tonight in the North American region. So I guess Gabriel won't be able to see it, but the majority of the class would.
There's a what?
There's a blood moon. It's
Oh,
like when the moon goes behind the earth and it becomes reddish.
Oh shoot.
Are you pretty much done finishing up the B quest, Jeremy? If you're ready on the Dodo quest, if you're
Yeah,
ready
on
on
the picture now.
oh.
Oh, I see what you guys mean by scroll down now. Output's like super long.
Is this the last quest for you? Or do you still need to like dog some other earlier quests?
Yeah, this is the last one for me. So probably do the final studying this week and start on red. I wonder how the next class is like, even if we are using the questing format, how the participation will run too. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I still have no clue what next quarter is supposed to look like.
Mm.
If they aren't using the quests, I'll feel like I've done them for nothing. But I not for nothing, but you know,
Mhm.
Still probably good practice though.
yeah,
Like we can get a
Yeah.
couple.
I'm gonna see if I can get the first red quest done. Um, by this week. I don't know if I can get it done by Sunday. We'll see. But then I'm probably gonna focus on just studying for the final. Because yeah, I don't want to put all my time in to try and get ahead on the red quest, and then turns out, just kidding.
Mm,
It's not actually part of,
true.
2C.
Maybe I can email the new professor and just ask for us, and then I'll post for you guys.
this is true too.
Yeah.
The subreddit's been a little dead.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking, I was like, oh, everyone kind of finished tardigrades, it seems. So I was like, what to post?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, there's 2 weeks, but like, I already gave my thoughts last week.
Yeah. I guess we only need one more week of participation because this will be the 10th one, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need to do well on both this one and next one because I have a 0 for one of the weeks.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll give Gabriel like 4 minutes maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it's coming. I'll be honest. We lost our teacher.
Uh, Maybe he got too deep into the red quest and he was like, screw this. I don't think he's coming. I'm probably gonna log off now, guys. But it's good chatting.
Yep, same.
See ya.
Alright,
Yeah,
see you
but-
guys.
See ya.